Alright then, so as the title already indicates, in this video I will be commenting on the statements made on Blackpink and Red Velvet by jooniverse in their unpopular opinions video. I'm going to rip apart what I deem bullshit and then gonna comment on how I perceive their entire video. So yeah, let's start off with the Red Velvet part. As I actually heard you out before I went bashing, I now ask you to let me bash out before you go dismissing. In your video, which will be linked in the description box, you claim that Red Velvet's music has been going downhill ever since Power Up, which you consider to be a second Red flavor. Additionally, you stated that RBB was a redo of Bad Boy. I know checking a comparison on one specific level is stupid, since most metaphors and comparisons are only being drawn to illustrate a single thing that both parties have in common, hence not proven wrong by demonstrating one level on which the comparison doesn't work. Since you didn't give any criteria though as to which way you found the songs to be the same in, I'm just gonna disprove their similarity in every way possible, and I'm hereby asking you to clarify what you meant by the original statement anyway. First off, Power Up supposedly being another Red flavor. So, both are Red concepts, both were released in consecutive summers. You can't blame them for releasing summery music in summer, in my opinion. Bagpipes is a very K-pop typical 125 BPM, which is, by the way, a tempo Blackpink uses quite a lot, whereas Power Up is a much more hectic 160 BPM. That's just the first thing that came to my mind when comparing those two songs. Now, Power Up as a song is basically exclusively sung, meaning there is a lot of singing going on, obviously. Regarding the beat, we notice a dominant electro synth with a minor snare playing occasionally. The song has video game music vibes. Yeri mentioned Tetris in that context, actually, in one interview, and relies on shockingly simple or reoccurring patterns, those being the banana part and also the yeah whatever. I'm not gonna go into the high notes, but whatever. Yeah, so Red flavor on the contrary, I noticed that while it is mostly sung as well, the rap part is crucial to the song and very memorable as well. In addition, the beat is comprised of drums with focus on the bass at times, not matching the Power Up one at all. On another note, the music videos are completely different. I understand if that wasn't your criteria though. If you just compare the songs, then it doesn't matter. But as the songs come with the video, the fans certainly got a new extravagant music video out of the deal at the very least. While I was preparing this album, I felt like I was getting energy by listening to Power Up. While Red flavor is more fresh and fruity, Power Up is a song that gives you strength and energy. That's how Wendy compared those two songs. Concluding this segment, in my opinion, there are no real similarities between those two songs that go further than them just being in the same summery concept. Again, it was a summer song anyway, so I don't get why that would be anything odd. Now, I can't believe I'm about to explain the difference between Bad Boy and RBB, but here we go. Well, alright, both songs are 150 BPM this time around. We are talking about two Velvet tracks, close to 1 year apart in releases. Given that RBB is somewhat of a sequel, some alignments are to be expected. It charted terribly compared to Bad Boy. As this is not the case with Power Up and Red flavor, we can't draw conclusions from that which would support your case. Bad Boy is a song featuring little to no use of the English language. It conveys R&B vibes, being extremely melodic. Its melody is everything to the song's catchiness. It comes with a calm synth beat. The track has no major ups and downs and only one sort of half-assed break. RBB on the other hand relies heavily on its slightly above Red Velvet average prevalence of English lyrics, which is the dominant language for the song outside the verses. The video reminds more of Peekaboo than of Bad Boy, to be honest. The pace of the song changes constantly, while the beat strives off a brass melody and the members' voices to lay a floor in the background. Now at this point I really can't point to anything those two songs have in common, besides the title and the tempo. I would almost think you were trolling with this one if the rest of your video hadn't been constructed in such a mindful manner, which earns you a lot of credibility for my money. Lastly, I want to touch on the point that it feels like SM doesn't care about Red Velvet anymore, and a fear of them abandoning the girls for a new group like they did with FX. I mean, a member has left the group of FX at this point, and obviously Red Velvet will eventually be let go of as well. How do you expect the business to treat used products anyway? But now imagine this. If you have a favorite brand of crisps at your supermarket, chances are they might or might not stop selling your particular product one day. Now, the chances of that happening depend vastly on the commercial success of the product. If you adore some spin-off cheese tortilla crisps in spinach dip, then I'm sorry for you, but those might not make it very long in the brutal world of capitalism. But if you're a Pringles diehard, then you're probably on the safer end of that spectrum. Applying this to girl groups, Red Velvet have recently dethroned Blackpink as the rank 1 K-pop girl act. The idea of SM trying to push them out and getting rid of them right now is outright ludicrous to me. Speaking of which, I would like to transition over to your opinions on Blackpink now. They're an almost 3-year-old group who hasn't put out a whole album yet and are only releasing mini albums. I know I'm largely off mainstream here, but isn't there just a formal difference between EPs, albums, singles, etc.? Really? Personally, I don't give a fuck as to in which particular form an artist releases their music. If they have 20 songs, then those can be from 3 major albums or from 10 different comebacks. Whatever really. That's all on that topic from my side. Now, them only coming back once a year is something you complain about as well. Obviously, Blackpink do come back rather seldomly. However, does this make you enjoy their stuff less? As the multi-stan you are, why would one group taking longer to release their shit bother you? Just check whether it's for you or not when they eventually put something out. Or just go on complaining about the low frequency of comebacks from a group that you claim not to even be excited about anyway, if you will. Next, they should leave YG is what you demand, whilst acknowledging that their signed contracts probably make that unrealistic anyway. I mean, I know I wouldn't want my favorite artist under YG Entertainment, but more on that later. You stressed that their label gave them not enough content. Now, I don't know, man, I'm kinda tired of this. Fans have all the different tastes and demands in the world. If you don't like their content, fair enough. They do put out quite a lot though. They are being promoted, especially regarding Western audiences. Now, here is where we take the ultimate leap. You are sure that a lot of companies would treat them better than YG does. Where the hell do you come from with that? There are no labels that are more financially powerful having fairer working conditions for their idols. Each and every label's management is a bunch of criminals in my opinion. As for their always returning dance moves that you mention, if you are bothered by less than 2-second passages of dance moves returning in various choreographies, then so be it. If you feel like their choreographies aren't unique enough for your taste, then fair enough. I just can't get behind this idea. But surely, we all look for something different in our favorite artists, so I won't really judge you for that. I do want to say and announce real quick that I plan on ripping your and many others' opinion of most of Blackpink's songs following the same pattern, which you somehow believe to have proven, apart in a separate video of mine. This topic requires me to go quite in depth though, and is therefore best suited being handled in isolation. Now, I can't say that I've disproven you on that point, but rest assured that I will. Now for the conclusion. You try to be fair and succeed in that for most of the video, but from time to time you tap into areas you just don't know shit about every now and then, which makes you sound harsh when it's really just uneducated comments. To all of the community, that guy is not a bad YouTuber, very reasonable about most things related to common sense, and not overly subjective, which is rare in our community actually, and I appreciate it a lot. I hope to spawn some civil debate in either the YouTube comment section here or gladly on Twitter as well.